I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain. And we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, we've got two NFC West teams here. Your assessment of the state of the division coming into 2019, is it the Rams to lose?
We saw the changing of the guard with the Rams taking over from Seattle a couple of seasons ago. But Seattle got back in the game pretty fast, didn't they? You remember preseason last year? It was doom and gloom. They ended up in the playoffs. Arizona, they're kind of hitting the reset button. Is San Francisco to keep your eye on. With good health, good drafts, they could be the team that can really contend.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year, when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up second down. And here is the Cardinal defense.
Back in Arizona is outside linebacker Terrell Suggs, who played his college ball for Arizona State before going to the NFL and playing for the Baltimore Ravens for the bulk of his career. Now entering his 17th season, 7 times as a Pro Bowler, 1 time as the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, he can still wreak havoc on all offenses.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
Wilson now, throwing again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. He's going to air one out and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. They'll be led out by Kyler Murray, the #1 overall pick in April's draft, and also the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro, and he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
We're all looking forward to watching David Johnson bounce back from a rough season in 2018 because we know he has 2,000-yard potential, 1,000 on the ground, 1,000 in the air. And with a new offensive-minded coach in Arizona, look for his numbers to truly increase in 2019.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go, D.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Nice pass that time by the #1 pick, Kyler Murray. Also drafted 9th in the Major League Baseball draft. He's the only person ever to be taken top 10 in both sports. Go back to his Allen High School days in Texas. He was 42-0 as a starting quarterback. Freshman year, he was at Texas A&M. Then the transfer to Oklahoma, sat behind Baker Mayfield. Then his opportunity came last year. Boy, did he make the most of it. Won the Heisman Trophy and led the Sooners to the college football playoff. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Now one of the leaders in the Seattle secondary is safety Bradley McDougald. Since the retirement of Cam Chancellor, he's really had to step up and take on a primary role. Excellent against the run, solid in coverage, 2 interceptions in week 1 of 2018, and never looked back.
Throwing on second down. Murray nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Quentin Jefferson, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Drive coming up here for the Seattle Seahawks, who, Charles, were handed their 3rd loss of the season in Week 14 to the LA Rams, 28-12. That snapped the 5-game winning streak. They didn't have an offensive touchdown in that game. Pass rush was able to collapse the pocket around Russell Wilson, really limited his escape routes. He was sacked 5 times.
And not only that, lost one of his primary big play guys in Rashad Penny, who had really started to come on in this offense. He suffered an ACL injury that probably is going to end his season. And now that loss puts him a game behind San Francisco in the NFC West. Now they can do something about it if they win out. At Carolina, host Arizona, and then they rematch with the 49ers. And remember, they beat San Francisco in San Francisco, or should I say Santa Clara, and this game could now decide the division.
And more importantly, this most recent defeat to the Rams, that drops them from the #1 seed to the #5 seed right now in the NFC. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson on the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Charles, before Arizona starts this next drive, let's look at where they're at. 3-9-1. What's interesting is they've lost 6 straight. They played Detroit in Week 1. Those 2 teams tied. And then those 2 teams were 3-3-1, and both squads have lost 6 in a row since. But as you were saying to me off air, kind of like the Cardinals, they seem to have some promise with their 3-9-1 record.
I would agree with that, and I think it started in that season opener because they were down big to Detroit at home. Came back and tied it. I think Detroit left disappointed, and Arizona left that game encouraged. And even as the season goes on with all these losses in a row, there's a lot of encouragement because you start with Kyler Murray. He's kept his team in a lot of games, even though he threw 3 picks in this last one. And Chandler Jones never gets talked about as one of the best defenders in the league. He had his 14th sack in this game, 2nd in the league in that category. He is a good player, and I think this team I think the arrow definitely moving up for Arizona.
Last 3 games, if they want to try to break this losing streak they're on, though, they're home for Cleveland, then at the Seahawks, and then on the road again against the Rams.
I'm calling it now. They beat Cleveland at home.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Hey, you're on the 9 over there. You're on the 9.
Throwing is Murray on third down. Steps away. He may try and run for this. Kyler Murray, a 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback in his Heisman campaign at Oklahoma. He's got the first down. Well, we know that Murray can run the football. He rushed for 1,000 yards during his final year at Oklahoma, better than 7 yards per carry. And Cliff Kingsbury says, I trust him running the football. And this is a guy that has known his quarterback since 2012 when Murray was a sophomore in high school. Kingsbury was in the OC at Texas A&M. He would go on to take the Texas Tech job, but the two maintained a great relationship. Both are from Texas, both quarterbacks, and both with fathers heavily involved in their football careers. With Cliff Kingsbury, he trusts his quarterback implicitly. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. 6-man. Check, girl. Check.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. From the gun on third down, Murray. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Grenade! Mike 59! Don't get nervous! Whip, 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 whip! Watch the whip! Good!
On first down, it's Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, Got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Check, 59. Not today, you are. Not today.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Rodney Gunter with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Murray now rolling to his right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray is complete to the tight end Clay. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, it's caught. Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Wilson will throw again. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. This is Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 3rd down, Murray. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 1st down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Shotgun now from Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jaron Reed getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Wilson. Able to get this to Gordon.
Complete to Josh Gordon. A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Murray now on 1st down. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, get in the weight room.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Brings up 2nd and 11. 14-yard line.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. To throw is Wilson. Got Gordon open, completes it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Murray going to throw, sliding out of the pocket. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the 1st down carry. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production that sent him to the Pro Bowl in 2016. That would certainly help his rookie quarterback.
Holding offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Off the draw, here's Johnson. Oh no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
You can't block me.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Wilson now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back him up 5.
We got this.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Carson. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They run it with Carson. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And down inside the 15 he goes. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Wilson to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13-10.
Next to score, Seahawks 13, Cardinals 10.
So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now.
Let's go. What? 280. 58, come on. You don't know no better.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. So the victory here for Seattle, and this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.